The First Amendment that I'm going to offer up today and hope that we can overcome objections to is pretty straightforward. Here's what the amendment says. It says that no deal can go forward unless the president certifies that the Iranian leadership has accepted Israel's right to exist as a Jewish state. Why is that important? Because you're going to hear an argument that this has nothing to do with nuclear weapons. This has nothing to do with the nuclear capacity of Iran. I'm going to make the argument that that's not true. The first reason is we have to understand why it's important for Israel to exist as a Jewish state. Israel is not just a country. It is a homeland for the Jewish people, created in the aftermath of the Holocaust, with the belief that never again would there not be a place for the Jewish people to go and seek refuge and be able to live if they face persecution, as they have for thousands of years, as they do even now, but especially in the aftermath of the Holocaust. So Israel is not just a country. It has a special and unique purpose that sets it apart from any other nation on earth. It was created as a homeland for a persecuted people who survived despite the death of 6 million human beings in the Holocaust, maybe more, and now has a homeland where they will be safe. It's also important to remember that beyond that, it is in the national security interest of the United States. Because what is Israel? Israel is a pro-American, free enterprise democracy. I promise you that if there were more pro-American, free enterprise democracies in the Middle East, our lives would be a lot simpler, and the world would be a lot safer and a lot better. But there is one, and this country must always be firmly on the side of that one country, this free enterprise, pro-American democracy, in the midst of a region in chaos and in uncertainty. So why is that relevant to this deal? Here's why it's relevant. Because this is not just a deal about what Iran is allowed to do in their nuclear program. This is a deal that would lift billions of dollars worth of sanctions off of the Iranian government. So what is the Iranian government going to do when they get access to these billions of dollars? Are they going to donate it to charity around the world to feed the hungry and house the homeless? No. Are they going to use it to substantially improve the rights of their people in their own country? No. They're going to use those billions of dollars to do what they are doing now with less money, to export terrorism in every corner of the globe. Today, Iran is an active sponsor of terrorism in Lebanon, in Syria, in Iraq, in Yemen, in Bahrain, in Latin America, and in Europe. This is the same government that tried to assassinate the Saudi ambassador here in Washington, D.C. This is the same Iranian government that blew up a Jewish center in Buenos Aires. This is the same Iranian government that tried to detonate a bomb in Uruguay. They use terrorism the way normal countries use diplomacy. And now we're going to turn over billions of dollars to them? And the reason why it has something to do with Israel is, what do you think they are going to do when they have even more money to carry this out? They're going to invest it, not just in their nuclear program. They're going to invest it in their sponsorship of terrorism, and they're going to invest it in their long-range rockets. And what have they told us they want to do with this increased capacity? What have they told us is the chief goal of this government in Iran? Why do they need this terrorism? Why do they need these weapons? Why do they need those long-range rockets? Well, let's take them at their word. Here's why they need it. They need it because, according to the Ayatollah in July of 2014, this was a tweet. This barbaric, wolf-like, and infanticidal regime of Israel, which spares no crime, has no cure but to be annihilated. In November of 2014, this supreme leader, on his Twitter account, he posted a chart. It had 9 key questions about the elimination of Israel. I'm holding it here, but you can find it online. Why should the Zionist regime be eliminated? What does elimination of Israel mean in the viewpoint of the Imam, meaning him? What is the proper way of eliminating Israel? Who will the proposed referendum? He's talking about a referendum. He's actually calling for a referendum in Israel. But the Jews can't participate in the referendum, according to him. Why do we oppose compromise proposals? The point is, this is a country led by a leader that has made it very clear repeatedly, time and again, that one of their main objectives is the destruction of Israel and ending Israel's existence as a Jewish state. And you know, when someone says that over and over again, we should believe them. This is not for domestic consumption to make him look good in Iran, the way some in the administration would argue. I believe they mean it. You know why I believe they mean it? Because they sponsor terrorism in an effort to kill Jews and Israelis. In January of 2015, a suitcase full of explosives were found near the Israeli embassy in Uruguay. The day after, an individual left a suitcase bomb near the embassy. A senior Iranian diplomat by the name of Ahmed Sabatgold left the country. Uruguayan authorities clarified a report claiming that he had been expelled from the country. They said no. They suggested that, in fact, he was a person of high interest with whom they would like to speak, but that he left the country on his own. And so the reason why the existence of Israel as a Jewish state is directly tied to this deal is simple. We are about to turn over dollars into their hands, and we have every reason to believe that they will spend a significant portion of that money to destroy our strongest and most important ally in the region and one of our most important allies in the world. And so the First Amendment I have offered is pretty straightforward. It calls for any deal to require that Iran recognize Israel's right to exist as a Jewish state.